My guest today is right-handed pitcher Emanuel Rosario. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. So, you currently play for the Savannah Bananas, right?
Yeah, that's where I'm currently at right now.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but is that the Coastal Plain League?
Yes, during the summer with the college guys. What I'm doing right now, however, is a little bit different. It's like a procurement of professional level guys and guys who just got done with college, being that this is during the college season. And the makeup of these teams, kind of like the Globetrotters of baseball. We all practice together, do everything together, except when it comes game time, we put on two different uniforms and, we're putting on a show. But myself and a lot of the guys out here are indie ball guys, so guys in the top four major league partner leagues.
And this is like a spring thing. I believe we have a game coming up on March 26th and on March 27th, right?
Yep, we'll be playing at Riverwalk Stadium, which is in Montgomery, Alabama. It's the Biscuits Stadium, the AA for the Rays. And, we have two games. This is like spring training for some of us, like an elongated spring training. It's a time to, get live ABs, have some game feel. All the games are sold out, so this weekend we'll be playing in front of 7,000 fans. And, for me, I'm using it as an opportunity to start to work on the stuff that I know I'm going to need to have solid when I head out to Utah in May for my regular season in the Pioneer League.
Now, you mentioned you're going to be playing with in Utah. Is that like with the Coastal Plain?
No, that's a collegiate league. The Coastal Plains League is all college guys. I've been professional now since 2020, so this is my third year of pro ball. And the Pioneer League is an MLB partner league. The team I'm on up until 2020 was a Dodgers affiliate team, so we still have Dodgers. It's still like almost like a Dodgers uniform, new era caps, all that good stuff. It's very well run. And in these leagues, the Atlantic League, which is where I was last year, the MLB is a partner with these leagues because it's comparable in basically minor league baseball, and they implement like different rules and they experiment with changes of the game that they don't want to implement into the minors just yet. And then if something works in one of the independent leagues, they'll transition it over to organization ball.
And for people that are not familiar with you also played in the South Florida Baseball League and also in the 2017 Sunshine State Conference. Is that correct?
Yeah, that was in 2017 was my only year of college baseball, and then I had stopped playing for pretty much a year and a half after that and didn't go pro till like 3 years later. I had actually stopped playing baseball after a little bit of college just because my experience wasn't that great with my college team, and ultimately decided to hang the towel, put up the cleats after my time with after college, and then I had stopped playing for a little bit.
And any reason why you decided to come back?
I missed the game. I love this game. The only reason I'm playing it right now and continuing to try and, get to the highest level is the love I have for this game. And when I had stopped playing, I tried to fill that void in regards to what am I doing? Like, do I feel very purposeful doing this? Does it bring me day-to-day joy? Like, do I really feel like I'm living the way I should be in regards to like my life experience? And the answer was no. I didn't really feel fulfilled from what I was doing. I was having fun and, meeting great people, but I wanted to continue to challenge myself in the way that baseball did for me. So I was working in the gym. I was assistant general manager of a gym. This is like, a year after playing or so, or even less. And then I found myself wanting to play again. So I joined a men's league, played out in the men's league, and I was like, okay. And I started meeting. There were some pro guys in the men's league just getting at bats in the off season, and they're like, dude, you've got some good stuff. Like, you could definitely play independent ball if you just continue to work on things. And so that was in the spring of 2019, and I kept working hard at what I was doing, and making improvements. And I was saying to myself, if I keep improving, I will give this a good shot. Like, I will go back to this game full force, and really see what I can do. And then in 2020, in January 2020, I signed my first professional contract with the Puerto Rico Islanders, but then COVID happened, so the season was shut down. Fast forward a little bit to September or August of July of 2020. We had been doing live ABs, just staying ready for the potential of the season to happen, and a pop-up league in the Frontier popped up in New Jersey, and I had some friends who were on the team, some guys that I had made connections with, and they're like, hey man, like, we need arms, and I really think if you come up here and do what I know you can do, you can make this team. So I went up to New Jersey with like a day's notice, booked the flight the next day after the phone call, went up there, tried out. They're like, okay, we like what we see, come out Wednesday. And if you can repeat, you've got a spot on this team. Went out Wednesday, had another good outing, signed, and then the very next day was opening day, and then I pitched that Friday night and that Saturday. And my pro career started. And then and that was after basically 3 years of not playing organized baseball. So from having only played 1 year of college ball, and that was after 2 years of not playing baseball after high school. I had taken a break after high school because I didn't find a team to play on, and just kind of thought I would be okay without the game, and I was like, I guess that's it. And then the same story happened beforehand. I was just like, man, I missed this game, so I started training, and I ended up being able to get myself to a spot where I got signed by Eckerd College, and that was in 2016. And then I played with them all 2017, and then stopped playing baseball after a year of making a comeback. So now fast forward to where I just left off. I was like, okay, we just went pro. We just got paid to play this game. This was awesome. And then I had an off season, and went into 2021 unsigned, went to a few tryouts, didn't get signed anywhere, and the New Jersey Jackals head coach still knew of me, so he invited me out to the spring training. I did well when I went out there. He said, I don't think I really have a spot for you because I pretty much solidified my roster, but if you really show me something and you can like beat out a guy on here, you could make this team, but I can't promise you anything. And I was like, okay. So I didn't end up beating anyone out of their spot, and I went to play for the Black Sox, which is basically like a amateur / professional placement league. Because I can't call it professional because we're not getting paid, but it is professional level of play, being that on a weekly basis, this organization is sending guys to any of the top 4 professional MLB partner leagues. So the top 4 are starting with, like, I guess you could call it like high A, like Pioneer League, then Frontier League. Then you get into like AA level of play in the American Association. And then the Atlantic League is like AA to AAA / AAA to quadruple A, they call it, independent baseball. Because of the experience in those leagues, they're, deemed that level of baseball because of the competition. So I was there for a month with the Black Sox, and then I got signed and went and played in the Atlantic League. So going from having thrown 9 professional innings, making a comeback the year before, to the highest level of independent baseball with a roster that was made up of 12 ex-big leaguers, on the team, and then a bunch of guys that had their highest experience level of AAA or AA, and I find myself on this roster, and I'm like, holy cow. Like, where am I and how did I get here? It's time to perform. And after that, it was either sink or swim. I swam. I fell into a good spot as a reliever. I had 3 spot starts that really crushed me during my 2.5 months with the team. If I hadn't had those spot starts, it was just, my ERA would have been so much better. But it is what it is. It's very difficult to get through the second the lineup a second time with guys that are as experienced as they are in the Atlantic League, and I'm not afraid to admit that. It is tough. But I had a good season in the Atlantic League in regards to just growing and learning, and also receiving validation as far as like where I'm at in regards to how I've progressed in this game since making a comeback. The fact that I was able to get ex-big leaguers, ex-guys who have, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of service time to this game at the highest levels, I was able to compete with them. And I was like, wow, okay, this is where we're at. Let's build off of this. And I found myself a good place to train in the off season, where majority of guys had a good amount of service time, and there's a lot of big leaguers, a lot of Rays players, Phillies players, some Yankees players in Tampa. And here we are going into year 3 with the Bananas again, like I was last year, just doing my spring training type deal. This is the way we all look at it. And then in May, I'll drive out to Utah, go to spring training for the team I'm signed for, which is the Ogden Raptors in the Pioneer League, and we'll begin year 3. So that's the story.
Wow, it sounds like you had a hell of a career, and I'm sure anybody would have loved to have that type of career, because what you just mentioned, like, man, it seems like you was all over. You met a lot of people, and it's all about networking, So.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say you go ahead.
Oh no. So you mentioned the Bananas again. Your second year playing with them. So a lot of people are not familiar with them, but they're like they became like a sensation on TikTok. They're like TikTok's favorite team, right?
Yeah. Yeah. In just this past couple weeks, they've grown over 400,000 followers on TikTok. Like it is, like you said, a sensation. They are going viral in so many ways because they're just doing things that, traditional professional baseball, you just can't do. And that is like why this is so attractive to some people, is because, at surface level, people that don't understand baseball, they take it as boring because they don't see the intricacies happening in the game. A 0-0 ball game is sometimes boring to some people because they're waiting for the big fly, they're waiting for the home run, they're waiting for guys to be rounding the bases and all this stuff happening. But a 0-0 ball game means it's a pitcher's duel, and whoever's on that mound that day is dealing. And to a person who actually knows baseball, like, that can be exciting in itself. But to your typical viewer that doesn't really know, nothing's really happening. They're just seeing a bunch of guys go up to the plate and walk back to the dugout. But the dude on the mound is having, he's either throwing on his way to a perfect game, or, whatever the case may be, a shutout, whatever the case may be. That's exciting, but some people don't see it that way. But the Bananas, there's not a single moment in the game where something's not going on. It's actually crazy. I even miss stuff, like, because there's so much going on. I'll see a TikTok the other day and I'm like, I didn't even see that. Like, I was paying attention to something else going on. There's sometimes like 2-3 things going on at one time. Like, people might be in the stands and then something might be happening on the, third base line next to the dugout, and you just sometimes miss it. There's so much going on at these games. The fans are into it. We're into it, because at the end of the day, it is baseball, just with a few different antics going on that makes the game very, very entertaining for the fans. Everyone loves it.
And you mentioned that the TikTok account has gone viral many times. There was a time where even John Cena retweeted a video after a player had like a 24-person pep band like walk them up to the plate. Like
Yeah.
saying, were you there that day?
Well, I don't know which one that was and how recent that was. If it was within the past 3 weeks, then yeah, I was there. But one of my friends, he's had a band walk him out to the plate, like as his walk-up song, like a live band, and I was on the mound, and I was like, I can't believe this is happening right now. Like, I'm about to pitch to a guy whose walkout song was a live band that just like walked out with him in line, and I was just like, that's crazy.
Yeah. And how long do you plan on playing for the Savannah, or do they have like a limit where you can only play for a certain amount of time?
So this is called the Premier Team, the team I'm on, and basically what it is like I said, it's the makeup of the professional players. Like there's some guys on my team and on the other team that I faced in the Atlantic League last year. So top level guys. And I mean, like I can say like a lot of these bats are not easy at bats. Like they're exactly the kind of bats I'm looking for at this point of the year, facing good professional hitters before going to spring training, so that when I go there, it's like I wasn't, scrapping random dudes up to like face live, and then I was striking them all out, and then I go into spring training and it's like, oh, these are some dogs. No, like I'm facing dogs right now, so that when I go to spring training, nothing changes. If not, maybe I'll have an easier time, but that's not really baseball. But with the tour, each year there's a tryout. This year I was invited back because last year I was a part of the team as a banana, and they liked me a lot. They followed my progress throughout the season, and in October they were like, hey, you made the team. We just want you to still come to the tryout because ESPN's filming, so we want everyone that's on the team to be there from day one. Like, so, come to the tryout. Like, you're not trying out. You already made the team, but, we'd love to have you if you would love to be back. And I was like, absolutely. Like, I want to be a part of this. And so this year, the tour, I'm blanking, but I'm pretty sure it's around 14 games or something like that, 12 to 14 and maybe 15 games, maybe 16. And it's just, we play on the weekends. During the week, we're here in Savannah. This is home base. I'm with a host family that they've provided. We practice out of Grayson Stadium, which is the home field, during the weekdays. And then on Thursday, for example, tomorrow, we get on a bus, the team and the staff, and we all head out to where we're going to be playing. Then we have a Friday night game, Saturday night game, head back on Sunday. And that is during the spring. So this is all over April 16th, but then May 6th and 7th, the Kansas City Monarchs, who are an American Association team, they challenged us to games. So it's just going to be the Bananas going over to face the Kansas City Monarchs. It's not going to be the Bananas versus Party Animals, which is the current way that we've been playing every weekend, just against each other, just like the Globetrotters did, except that with the Globetrotters, you knew that the Globetrotters were going to win the game. But here, it can go either way. I mean, I feel like the game is a little favored to Bananas, not going to lie. But we, for example, the Party Animals, we came out with the win on Saturday night. So, yep.
And you mentioned that your teammates do a lot of crazy stuff. Have you ever done anything like crazy?
I was smoking a cigar on the mound the other week. I brought a cigar, and I walked out without my glove. I looked at the other team's dugout while smoking a cigar. Did that, like, you're dead kind of thumb across the throat thing to them while pointing at them. And then my teammate ran out with my glove. Took my Oakleys off my face, gave me my glove. I put the cigar down. We bowed, and then I started warming up. So it's just like you can do like silly things, but then, you know, the moment you take the rubber and you come set, I'm delivering a competitive pitch. Like I'm facing these guys, and they're taking competitive swings, competitive takes. Like that's when, for me, the like entertainment parts. I mean, it's entertaining to watch a good pitcher, of course, but that's for me when I get in my zone and I'm playing actual baseball and like the antics and like crazy things stop. But out here, you know, like pitch or like strikeout celebrations encouraged. So if I strike out a guy, I'm gonna, you know, like wave to him bye, like as he's walking to the dugout, or I'm gonna like pump my fist or like jump up in the air or whatever the case may be. Like you're trying to entertain the fans, you know. You're not. It's different than like the professional approach of like keep it to yourself, you know, like just, you know, get the ball, focus on the next batter. Here, it's definitely fans first, so you want to give them a show. And like this weekend, for example, I'm bringing out like signs to, you'll see it. It'll end up being on a TikTok of the bananas, but I'm bringing out signs that like have different like expressions on there. Like, so if I strike someone out, like I might hold up a sign that says sorry or GG or like whatever, or if a guy gets a hit off me, I'm going to have a sign that says nice one, you know, stuff like that, just to hold up, and like the crowd can see it, and it'll be entertaining, I guess. It'll be different. That's like what you want to do, is like, what can I do that a fan has never experienced at a baseball game and will make this very entertaining for them. That's the whole premise. So
yeah, it definitely sounds awesome, and I would definitely love to go to a game in the future and check it out. But do you feel like, you know, with the whole TikTok thing, like, I guess your professional career has changed a bit? Like, are people more familiar with you? You know, like how has that affected you?
I definitely think having, I mean, if you're a top guy in the game, you know, DeGrom, he has no Instagram, but he is very well known throughout the whole game because he is the best at what he does. But when you're a smaller player, I think I could go without it. I could go without having, I think I now have 82,000 followers on TikTok. I could 100% go without it and I'd be the same exact player, but it does get you recognized more, and it does get you more opportunities, I would say, as far as like potential collaborations with baseball companies to kind of get your foot in the door with opportunities that, you know, more well-known or drafted guys have, for example, like brand deals and stuff like that. Because like I have companies reach out to me just because of my following, and they're like, hey, can we send you this if you make a video on it? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And then when it comes to, you know, supporters / fans, I do get recognized at games for my TikTok. They'll be like, oh, I saw your TikTok video, like I follow you on TikTok. And it's not like it's a ton of people, but like a couple, you know, a handful at pretty much most games I go to will be like, hey Manny, like I follow you on TikTok, can you sign this ball and can we take a picture? And it's like, absolutely. Like, it's just kind of crazy to be in this spot after like not having had this game in my life, and then to get to a spot where I'm playing in front of fans, like more fans than I've ever played in front of, at a level that I had only dreamed of playing, you know, with teammates that are just phenomenal athletes and people. And, you know, there's people that want me to sign a baseball. It's surreal. Like, I just feel blessed every time it's a blessing to be recognized for what you do. Let me just put it that way. 'Cause like I enjoy content creation. Sometimes like what I put out is very simple. It's just something I shot on my phone, but some other stuff I actually really enjoy, like the video editing, shooting and editing process. Like I enjoy kind of being artistic and like thinking about, you know, like a end result I want for a video before I've even shot it. Like I'm like, I kind of want to make something like this. Like I'll hear a song and I'll be like, ooh, I think I can make a cool video to this song that is going to represent myself or my team like in this light. And then like the process of putting that together is really cool. So that's kind of why I'm on TikTok is for the creativity and the content throw ups that I can put out there. It's just like, here's this. Cause like, I just love to like capture stuff. So this is more so a spot than Instagram, I would say, for me to like. TikTok is a better place for me to just like kind of throw out whatever. And a lot of people like that stuff. And then Instagram, I kind of just use more for like, just sharing with family and friends that I either am in touch with all the time or sporadically in touch with. It's like whenever we talk, it's someone can bring up, oh dude, like I saw that you were in Daytona this past weekend. How was that? And I didn't have to like individually reach out to tell them, so that's the beauty of social media, is being able to stay in touch without actually staying in touch sometimes, because there's just too many people. There's so many people that I now know that like I'm interested in their life, they're interested in my life, but do we call each other every day? No. So that's what social media is for.
Okay. And where can people find you, like, if they want to follow you, see your videos, see your creations, and check out your career and stuff?
Oh yeah, perfect. So on Instagram at Emanuel Rosario with 2 O's at the end. So EMMANUEL ROSARIO, so 2 O's. And then TikTok is Manny, MANNY .Rosario, spelled the same way, just only one O. And then YouTube, just Emanuel Rosario, and you'll see a dude with a baseball picture, and that's me. But I haven't really been using YouTube. I kind of want to do that, but my main thing really lately has been just TikTok, and then Instagram is a little bit more of like kind of just stories and posts, just stuff where if people want to message me, DM me on Instagram, I almost always get back. Sometimes it takes me a couple days, but I usually do. Just like when you commented on my video on TikTok, sometimes there's a lot going on, because right now my platforms are experiencing some growth just with all this banana content. Like people are like, what is this? Like, I'm going to follow this person. And so like kind of blowing up in a way. And some stuff gets buried under notifications. And I'm like, oh crap, this guy messaged me 2 days ago. Like, let me message him back. And then here you and I are, 28 minutes into a phone call that was only supposed to last 15 minutes, and that's okay. I'm enjoying being able to talk to you and kind of share my story and like my testimony just about like having faith in making a comeback in this game. And I've really just tried to use my story for encouraging people like, hey, it's never too late to get back after it. So
I appreciate you coming, and I'm sorry that the podcast episode went a little longer.
Oh no, don't apologize for that. That's fine, man. I mean, I kind of knew that it would.
I mean, it depends. Sometimes you have guests, and they're not too into the topic and stuff. But sometimes you have guests like you, where they actually enjoy talking about what they talk about, preach, and they want to spread a message. So I really appreciate you coming on the show. But a last question before I let you go. Have you ever pitched with the pitch clocks?
I will be this year. 15 seconds in between each pitch. So it's actually perfect, because the Bananas, they want innings to be quick. And the Pioneer League, where I'm going to be playing, it's a 15-second pitch clock. So currently I'm working a little bit faster in between pitches. I like to take my time, but not too much time. I want my fielders to still be on their feet, and I don't want to give the hitter too much time to like gather himself in between pitches. So I'm working on finding that balance of, right when I've delivered that one pitch, I'm trying to reduce like myself walking forward to catch the ball, like off the bump a little too much. I'm trying to just finish where I am, receive the ball where I'm standing, and then back up the, 2 or 3 steps to get right back on the rubber, take my sign, come set, breathe, deliver again. Just trying to get in a good routine of about 9 to 12 seconds between each pitch versus like being almost right at the edge of 15 seconds. So being out here and them wanting us to play fast, because we have a 2-hour time limit with games, and surprisingly we usually get like 8 to 9 innings done in that 2-hour time limit, which is unheard of. So I'm doing my best to work pretty fast. And yeah, it's definitely a challenge, but I think it'll be better for the game in the long run to speed up just a little bit.
Are you concerned it's going to affect you in any way, maybe in the future, or some maybe a scout is watching you and maybe,
being with the Bananas?
No, in general,
No, I think a scout and any team honestly would prefer a pitcher that works quicker than slower. I think it's just more advantageous to not letting the batter to get comfortable and to put it have those extra few seconds of thought to set himself up for the next pitch. And then quicker innings is good momentum for your team. Your guys are not getting bored or just getting flat-footed in the field. They're back on their toes, and that pace of play is good, I believe. No one wants a 20-minute inning and then it's like go and bat and then be up to bat for 5 minutes and then back on the field for so long. And I know for a fact that I like when a game is done in like 3.5 hours versus sometimes we've had games that lasted 4.5 hours because the innings just took so long. So yeah. I think moving a little quicker in between pitches can't possibly hurt.